Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته يا شيخنا السلام عليكم.
Ameen wa iyaakum, Aba Yusuf. How are you?
الحمد لله بخير.
Okay, can we go on now?
نعم يا شيخنا.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. أما بعد. For some time we have been busy with this book, Al-adabul mufrad. The book Al-adabul mufrad, as we have repeatedly mentioned to us, was authored by Al-Imam al-Bukhari Abu Abdullah Muhammad ibn Ismail, one of the biggest scholars that ever came in this ummah, Al-Bukhari rahimahullah. He titles the book Kitabul Adab, the book about the manners of a Muslim. And we know the manners of the Muslim takes a big role in the life of the Muslim. The life of the Muslim has the aspects of his aqidah, his belief, his creed. It has also the huge aspects of his mu'amala, how he deals with the rest of the people. And here you would find matters of business transactions, at-tijara. You find issues regarding al-adab, manners, and so on and so forth. So al-adab, the manners of a Muslim, they play very, very big role in his deen. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would say that إِنَّمَا بُعِثْتُ لِأُتَمِّمَ صَالِحَ الْأَخْلَاقِ, as if to say he has not been raised for any other thing except to perfect character. Unfortunately, very little do we Muslims pay attention to learning about our akhlaq these days. These days, we hardly ever talk about our manners and the akhlaq that the Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam and his companion has taught this ummah. We hardly talk about them. That was why we chose to read the book Al-adabul mufrad, a book specifically compiled about adab, the manners of a Muslim and his character. And so the book became popularly called Al-adabul mufrad, that is to say, a book that is specifically compiled regarding the matters of al-adab. And that will make it be different from Kitabul Adab in Sahih al-Bukhari. In Sahih al-Bukhari, he has a whole chapter on adab. But this book, it is specifically on adab, so he calls it Al-adabul mufrad, the book separately compiled about adab. We are on the chapter about Al-Mustahabban. We are on Babul Mustahabban Shaytanan Yatahataran wa Yatakazaban. Al-Mustahabban, two Muslims abusing and insulting themselves. Yatahataran, they will be exchanging obscenity. Two Muslims abusing themselves. They will be exchanging obscenity. Wa Yatakazaban, and they will be exchanging lies, obscene things and lies. These are the traits of people who stand before one another and they begin to insult themselves. This was the chapter where we read last in our last class. And today, bismillah, we are supposed to be on Babu Sibabil Muslimi Fusuq. Babun Sibabul Muslimi Fusuq. The chapter that insulting and abusing a Muslim itself is criminal. From the acts of criminality is you begin to abuse and insult a Muslim. When you are doing this, you are engaging in an act that Islam considers as criminal. Just like we said that abusing and insulting a Muslim comes from the acts of shaitan. Two Muslims abusing themselves, shaitanan. The two of them are Satans. Because what they are doing is from the actions, is from the deeds that the shaitan encourages and he enjoys. So they've been called Satans. Yatahataran. They will be exchanging obscenity. Wayatakazaban. And then they will be exchanging lies here and there. So that the new chapter is Babu Sibabil Muslimi Fusuk. The new chapter is about when you abuse a Muslim, you are being criminal. You insult a Muslim, abuse him, denigrate him, you slur him, you want to bring him down, you want to disgrace him. It is from the aspects of criminality. But I have just considered it appropriate that it's been a while since we had a question and answer class. And many of the times when questions are asked, we do not have the opportunity to read through them and provide answers as much as is required. So we felt to devote the class today, inshallah, to trying to provide answers to some of the questions that we may have. Abu Yusuf, do we have questions? We can go start looking at one after the other.
نعم يا شيخنا جزاكم الله خيرا.
آمين وأنتم فجزاكم الله خيرا.
The first question is, I want to ask for the kind of business our wives can be doing both online and physically, and what are the manners and etiquette the women should adhere to in the process.
The first and the basic thing about women is that they are not business people. The first basic thing about Islam and about our women in our religion, Islam, is that they are not people of buying and selling. The basic thing about women in our religion is that they are not buying, they are not selling. And that's why Islam has not placed any financial requirement on the woman. As a little young girl, the father, the mother, as a little young girl under the father and the mother is the head of the home. He provides for them. The first major duty of a man is that he provides for his wife and his daughters. The first major duty of a man. When they say a man is the head of the home, Allah mentions it in the Quran. وَبِمَا أَنفَقُوا مِنْ أَمْوَالِهِمْ. The reason why you are the head of the home, one of it is that you spend on your wives, you spend on your daughters. It is the duty of their husband and the father to take care of their daughter. Likewise, the uncles. If the father becomes unavailable, the uncles take charge. It is a duty they have on their necks. We had discussed these matters in this book, Al-adabul mufrad. Then the sons, then the brothers. These are the people who have a duty to provide for a woman. The Muslim woman is not a businesswoman, basically. She's a woman who has the father to take care of her when she's a daughter. She also has the husband to take care of her when she becomes a wife. She has her children and her male relatives to take care of her when she becomes grown up. When she becomes grown up, her male relatives, like her uncle, like her father, like her son, like her brothers, all these people have the duty, responsibility to take care of the woman. So Abba Yusuf, the basic thing about our woman in Islam is that you spend on them. They don't have any financial duty to perform. No financials, no financial burden is placed on the woman as far as Islam is concerned. If you find a woman who is under a financial burden, she has either placed herself there or that she has been abandoned by her family. If you see a woman in a financial trouble, she has either drawn that trouble upon her own head. Maybe the husband speaks to her and she doesn't listen. Maybe she does not suffice with what the husband provides. And this is common in our days. Many of the women, their needs are beyond the abilities of their husbands. Sometimes not because the husband is not providing at all. Most of the times because their tastes are beyond the abilities of their husband. And it did not used to be like that. People remain and have been convenient when they remain under the abilities of their husband. Your husband can provide you 100 naira daily. You live under that 100 naira and you live as a wife. So it is not from the basic duties of a woman to earn. It is not. And that's why Islam does not place any financial burden or requirement upon the woman. It is not from her duties to earn. So that's the same reason why parents should relieve their daughters. Most times parents place burdens upon their daughters. When those daughters become married, they now place burdens, family burdens upon their daughters. For the sake of Allah, relieve your daughters. You should spend on your daughters, whether they are under you or they have become married. Don't place financial burdens on a woman. Islam has not placed financial burdens upon a woman. The burdens financially of a woman are to be borne by her father or her uncles or her grandparents or her brothers when she is alone in the house. When she becomes married, that financial burden becomes transferred to the husband. For the sake of Allah, we should not place a burden upon the woman. Leave her alone. The burdens she is placed on, the duty the woman is placed on is care for the home, care for the husband, care for the kids, care for the home. And Allah shall ask the woman about her home. He says, kullukum ra'in wa kullukum mas'ulun an ra'iyatihi. Then he came and said, wal mar'atu ra'iyatun fi bayti zawjiha wa hiya mas'ulatun an. The woman is ra'iyah. She's been placed as the caregiver. She's the shepherd. She's the protector. She's the organizer. She's the administrator of the house of her husband. This is the duty of a woman in Islam. Care for your husband. Care for his home, including his children. When you do that, then the husband has the duty to spend on you. So this is the duty. وَلَيْسَ الذَّكَرُ كَالْأُنْثَى. The men are not like women. إِنَّ سَعْيَكُمْ لَشَتَّى. Your duties are different. The woman has not been placed to start looking for what to eat, what to drink, what to wear, the house to live. And that's why Islam does not leave the woman at any point in time alone. She must always be, even upon a journey. When a woman travels, the Prophet ﷺ cautions, no woman who fears Allah and expects goodness from him on the day of Qiyamah should make a journey without a mahram. The ahadith are authentic. They are there from the hadith of Abdullah ibn Abbas, from the hadith of Abu Huraira, from the hadith of Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. The woman should not be left alone at any point in time. She's under care, she's under attention, she's under protection, she's under expenses you spend on her. The case when women now abandon the home, and that is what it has become. Even when she's inside the house, she has abandoned the home. Many of the men, 2 weeks ago, a man complained like that. His wife is not going anywhere, truly. She's inside the house, but she's just busy with the phone. She's busy touching the phone, pressing the phone, phoning, and all of these in the name of getting engaged in businesses. So it's not just about staying at home, but staying at home and maintaining the home. The brother complained bitterly, and many others too have this experience. Yes, the woman is at home, but the home is dirty. Her room is dirty. She herself is dirty. And the house is unkempt. And then she begins to blame the children for disorganizing the house. Why? She is basically busy touching the phone, pressing the phone, making phone calls, going about car parks to pick drops and all of these. These are things that the women have placed on themselves now. The duty of the woman is to sit down at home, care for the home, take care of your home, take care of your children, take care of your husband, so that they grow up to become responsible people for the society. And that's the reason why crime is also rife now. Crime is also rife now because women don't have the time to care for the children. So they have abandoned care for the children. All that matters to women now is how much I have made every week, how much I have made every month, and the like of these. That is not your duty with Allah. Your basic duty with Allah is your home. Al-mar'atu ra'iyatun fi bayti zawjiha wa hiya mas'ulatun anha. The woman is the protector. She's the caregiver. She's the shepherd. She's the administrator in the house of her husband. Wa hiya mas'ulatun anha. And Allah will ask her about it. But women have set this noble major task of the woman aside. All they are concerned now about is business, business, business. So this question itself is a wrong question. Asking what is the basic thing women should do at home. No, women should be in the house, care for their wives, care for their co-wives, care for themselves, care for their children, care for their husband, and build a community. All those people you find in the community, you say they are unwell. They were given birth to by women. They were cared for by women. And many women have abandoned all of these. If you go out now, you see what they refer to as crèches, places where they keep little children below age 4. Many of the women who just gave birth to children don't even have the time to properly breastfeed the children. Why? They are busy. They have to go out to work. These are burdens you are placing on the society. So the children began to be abandoned. They learn to be abandoned right from childhood. You abandon them in crutches. The time the children should spend with you, feel your warmth and have empathy. Little do you have children having empathy these days. They don't feel a sense of sorry for anybody because they were not brought up like that. Many women now bring up their children, leaving them in crutches because they are busy in the offices. That office job, Allah did not send you. You are sending yourself. The major job that the woman has been placed on the woman is now being abandoned and considered secondary. Please, this question is inappropriate about what are the jobs the woman should do. No, the woman should go back and sit down at home and they should suffice with whatever the husband brings for them. They should make do with it. Women should go back to their homes, sit down, take care of their homes. The homes are failing. And that's why even marriages can't even hold. The woman has become a person that the man can't even satisfy. He can't satisfy her. Why? Her urges and her tastes are high beyond the abilities of the man. And then family demands. Please, for the sake of Allah, leave your daughters alone. Don't place financial burdens on them so that they can live happily with their husbands. Many parents now trouble their daughters. They put a problem on the head of their daughters beyond their abilities, beyond even the abilities of their husbands. So these make women now sit down, whether at home, wherever, their concerns, and all of their concerns now is about money making, money making, money making. People care less now. All that is concerned about a woman is, how do I make money? For the sake of Allah, This mentality, this thinking is not of Islam. The basic duty of a woman, the hadith is clear, the verses of the Quran are clear. There is role discrepancy in Islam between men and women. The roles are different. Inna sayakum la shatta. That your roles, your duties are different. The woman should sit down at home, care for her family, care for her children, care for her husband, care for her home. But as for running about that our women have become so used to these days, Allah should protect us. We beg him for his protection. It is not from our religion essentially. The place for the woman is the home so that she cares for the home. So now asking us, what do they get busy doing at home? They're already busy at home pressing the phones and running about businesses already. They should stop all of that and face the home. Face the home. Face the home for the sake of Allah. If you face the home today, then we can have a good generation of people coming out of that same home tomorrow. But if you don't face the home today, I assure you that the society may be harsher in the next generation, because you'll be dealing with children who don't have empathy, children who don't have a sense of pity, children who have been abandoned by mothers in the name of doing businesses, children who don't have home training. In the past, we used to be told, if you find someone derailing, they say you don't have home training. These days, you hardly find anything to talk about a home training because there's no training at home. Why? The trainer is busy with businesses, phone calls here and there. And then women have become mixing freely with men now, because there's no way a woman becomes so engrossed in business except that the husband cannot delineate her friends, those she relates with. You can't stop her. You can't stop the people she's relating with. Some of those people she is relating with amongst women will be fasiqat, zaniyat, zunat. As long as they buy and sell, so you feel free mixing. Even kuffar, kafirat, will become the friends of your wife. Why? They are partners in businesses. So many things will come from this. What the woman should do is to sit at home and care for the home of her husband. May Allah protect us all. I think that question requires something else rather than asking to say, what kind of businesses should she do at home? For the sake of Allah, leave your wife alone with business. You should do the business, oh husband, and spend on your wife as much as you are able to. And the woman too should be ready to suffice with whatever the husband brings and pray for him for more blessings in his earnings. May Allah protect us. I think that we can suffice with this. There are also reports that sometimes the men too charge the wives that they have to do businesses. These kinds of men are losing their heads as men. What makes a man, as the Quran says, is that he is the one spending on the home. So if you find a man telling his wife that they will share rent, they will share school fees, he has a problem with him. He has a problem with him. For the sake of Allah, that problem should be addressed. When you now say that should make the woman now start business, what you are saying is that you should increase the problem. That the man is asking his wife to share rent, to share transportation, to share school fees. That itself is a problem. If you say the woman should start business, you have just added salt to the wound. You are not solving the problem. May Allah protect each and every one of us. This is really, really sad. It's common. We know it. We hear it. But it's not a good thing at all. Women, stay at home. وَقَرْنَ فِي بُيُوتِكُنَّ. The wives of the Messenger, alayhi salatu wasalam, they were at home. They were not businessmen and women. Imagine this, oh brothers and sisters. If Aisha, radiyallahu anha, if she opens a store to sell, is there any person who will sell better than her? Everybody will like to buy from the family of the Prophet, alayhi salatu wasalam. And yet, even when they complained of little finance, Allah did not give them the option of starting a business, open a store, Aisha, just nearby the mosque. Start a store and start selling wheat and bread. Everybody will be buying from her and the business will blossom. But the Messenger, alayhi salatu salam, that did not happen. Allah only told the wives of the Messenger to manage whatever the Prophet is able to provide. So women, suffice, manage with whatever your husband provides. If you don't have a husband, you have a father, you have an uncle, you have brothers, you have relatives, male relatives. Your male relatives are your caregivers. You have a right, they have a duty over you. For the sake of Allah, let us go back to how things are appropriately. Otherwise, we'll be destroying the society in the name of providing solutions. Everybody, we should go back to how the society should be arranged. Otherwise, we are rather destroying the society thinking that we are arranging it. Whatever makes you make a woman become someone who goes about to look for what to eat, you are putting that woman into danger and you are removing her from her place of primary assignment, which is our home. For the sake of Allah, women, home. Care for your home. Make your home clean. Care for your children. Pay attention to them. What happens to them, what they learn, who they relate with, and so on. This is your job. Your job is not the duty of moving all around, said, and all of these that we see women doing now in the name of trying to find a living. You have not been commanded to find a living. You're a woman, you're a person that you should be cared for in every stage of your life. May Allah protect each and every one of us. For the sake of Allah, women, we should address this matter and stay at home. Allah understand. Abba Yusuf, sorry about this. This has taken a lot of our time now. I mean, one.
The other one says, if the imam of my local mosque, who is not a scholar or student of knowledge, decides to do jamu of Salatul Maghrib and Isha without any obvious reason or explanation to the congregation, no clouds gathering, no rain, no wind, no fear in the environment, is it okay if I decide not to join the Isha if you want to pray at the time of Maghrib?
Well, al-khilafu shar. It depends on what will happen in the community. If you join, if you don't join, will that bring about trouble in the community, to you or to the community as a whole? If it will not bring about a trouble to you and a trouble to the community, then you may not join it. If it will not bring about a trouble to you, real trouble and problem to you, perhaps because such a person leading Salat in your masjid is a very influential person, perhaps in the security or something, and then that will lead them to say, oh, you didn't observe Salat with us, arrest him, and the like of this. If that will not bring you into troubles like this, then you can avoid that jam. But still, you have a duty to come back to the Imam to address why we want to make a jam. Why are we making a jam? Why are we combining the salah? Fortunately, it has come in the question that combining the salah can come as a result of strong wind, as a result of fear itself. Fear itself can make people combine salah, such as the times of curfew. When there is curfew, you can combine salah. Or the times of maybe an animal is let loose from the zoo. It was announced one time in Kanu around the zoo area that there's an animal moving around and all of these. If there is fear, or you started hearing shootings and everybody is running about and you are in the masjid, you can make Maghrib and Isha and then go back home. So if there is fear, if there is the cloud gathering, if there is wind, if there is rain, if there is illness, if there is journeying and all of these, so when we can make al-jam'. If there is nothing at all, then every salah should be observed at their right times. I hope that that's clear. So you should still come back to the Imam and address the matter with him when you choose not to observe the salat with him, or if for the purpose of avoiding trials coming to you, you were forced to observe that salat with him, try to still create an avenue to discuss why such a combination is being done. Abba Yusuf, is this clear?
نعم يا شيخنا جزاكم الله خيرا.
آمين وأنتم في جزاكم خير.
A similar one says, can we combine Maghrib and Isha in countries where the timing are quite late? For example, in UK, Maghrib is 9:50 p.m. and Isha is 11:59 p.m. Subu is 3 a.m. Getting rest and preparing for the next day causes hardship sometimes.
These kinds of issues, your scholars in that community will give you a fatwa. If you're in the UK and this is happening, your scholars in that community, they know this masail too. They will give you a fatwa. They will tell you what to do. Follow what they will say. As long as there are knowledgeable people too there, your scholars will look at the matter and they will tell you what to do. Your scholars will look at the matter and they will tell you what to do. Yes, I'm aware that there is this discrepancy there. And there are two ways to address the matter. It is either being addressed that if the night is so long that it may even be difficult to discern the time at all. You can't even discern the time. Maybe the sun is just there. You can't say, oh, there's group. You can't say there's fajr. The sun is just always there, as it happens in some parts of the globe, like I heard Norway, Sweden sometimes. So at those times, you estimate the times of Salah. But in your own case now, the times of Salat actually comes. You are only burdened by how that time comes. Yes, I know some of the scholars, including Shaykh Al-Albani, have a view that such combinations can be made. You can make the combination between Maghrib and Isha, because one of the reasons the Prophet allowed combination, alayhi salatu wasalam, is to bring haraj away from the Muslims, to remove haraj, to remove difficulty, In that hadith of Abdullah ibn Abbas in Sahih Muslim, when he was asked, why was the Prophet making al-jam when there was no rain, when there was no fear, when there was no traveling and all of these? Ibn Abbas replied that he wanted to remove hardship for his ummah. So if that will imply removing hardship, then I'm sure your scholars would have given you a verdict that you can observe Maghrib and Isha. Why? So that's to remove difficulty that you have described. I think that is what they have based the fatwa on. But don't forget, the people you have to follow, the fatwa you have to follow is the fatwa of your community, where you stay, where you have scholars. Listen to them. All I've just said is I'm trying to understand the circumstance. So if it's about difficulty, yes, you can. For the purpose of removing difficulty, you can join Salatul Maghrib and Salatul Isha. It's not just about rain and all of that. It can be for the purposes of removing difficulty. It is right too if they give a fatwa like this. But like I said, don't forget, follow what your community is doing, because these are the duties of a community. It's not just about you, it's an entire community. So follow your community. But I'm sure you will understand from what we have said that if they combine Maghrib and Isha by way of removing difficulty, that is allowed to bi'idhnillah. And that hadith of Ibn Abbas is the evidence for that, bi'idhnillah. I hope that it is clear about you, sir.
No, ya Shaykhana, jazakumullahu khairan.
I mean one.
I'm not sure if this question has been addressed before. It came during one of the classes we had before. It's about a common statement that says some Christians are even better than Muslims. What can we say about it?
We have addressed this matter. Don't say that is a wrong question. People should not say some Christians are better than Muslims. Allah is asking you, Afa naj'alil muslimina kal mujrimin ma lakum kayfa tahkumun. Should you compare the person of Iman and Islam to criminals? Because every kafir is a criminal. Sharrul Bariyah. Every kafir is a criminal. What is their criminality? They disbelieve in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is the worst sin anybody can be upon. So some can say, oh, you find them, they are nice in character, they are doing this. His kufr is worse than his niceness in character. So don't bring a kafir in comparison with a person of Iman and Islam. Don't bring a kafir, a mushrik, or a person of Christianity or Judaism in comparison to a Muslim. The Muslim is a Muslim, believing in Allah and the day of Qiyamah and the Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam, and in other aspects of Iman. As for the kafir, these are enemies of Allah. Allah calls them his own enemies. Yarhamukallah. So for the sake of Allah, don't bring a comparison like this. It is wrong. You can mention aspects. And the attribute will not be Christian, Muslim. You can say, this person, this individual, he does this particular thing better than this individual. This individual A does so thing better than individual B. You can say things like that. But let's not the attribute be Muslim, Christian. No. The Muslim is a friend of Allah. Even though he may be sinful, the Muslim is a friend of Allah. Even though he may be sinful, to the extent of his Iman, his sins will drop and reduce. But as for the person of kufr, they are enemies of Allah. He told us in Al-Mumtahana, لَا تَتَّخِذُوا عَدُوِّي وَعَدُوَّكُمْ. You are enemies, kuffar. For the sake of Allah, kuffar are what they are. Those who disbelieve in Allah and His Messenger. May Allah protect us. Don't bring them in comparison with a Muslim, mentioning Christian Muslim, because the attribute goes back to Islam and Christianity. For the sake of Allah, let us not make that statement. It is inappropriate.
No,
Ameen wa antum.
How are we to respond to dua during Salatul Jumu'ah, and also responding to the mentioning of the name of our Prophet sallallahu
alayhi salatu wasalam? If the mention of the Prophet was made during Jumu'ah, you can silently say the salat on him to yourself. Silently. You can. Some of the scholars have said that. As for at-ta'min, saying Ameen to a dua, it is allowed in khutbah. When the imam is making the khutbah, we're allowed to say Ameen when he makes dua. When the imam makes dua during khutbah, you say Ameen aloud. When he mentions the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam in his khutbah, you say salat on him silently. But saying salat on him aloud has no basis. Saying salat on him aloud, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, aloud, it has no basis. But saying it silently, the scholars say the basis for that is because you're already used to that. You're already used to that. And when you say it silently, you have not violated the rule about not saying anything aloud. As for saying Ameen, it is well known that when the Prophet makes dua, the people say Ameen. And that includes the time of the Jumu'ah to Allahu Alam. So you can say Ameen aloud. And as for Salatu ala Nabi, say it silently. Allahu Alam.
No, jazakumullahu khairan, Shaykh.
Ameen wa antum.
Can you hear me? No. Will women who are not going for Jumu'ah also?
Someone is asking a question here. I think it has to do with our discussion about non-Muslims. How do we decide between living between a troubled Muslim environment and a secured Christian-dominated area? Who tells you that the Christian-dominated area is secured? Anyway, most times we like questions like this because of our own choices, because of our own preferences, not necessarily because of what the deen itself says. Otherwise, if you go back and actually investigate, you find that there is no secured, dominated Christian area. It is hardly something you can think about. In the real sense of it, they have the crimes that are going on. Alcohol is being drunk there. Prostitution is going on there. Drug abuse is going on there. And all of this. And you will hardly ever hear an azan. Where do you keep that? You hardly ever observe your salat in jama'ah. Where do you keep that? And you are at the mercy of the non-Muslims when they choose to do anything harmful to the Muslims. So what do you want to do about that? So most times when you say secured Christian, you are just saying it. When you go back to the basis and you begin to identify them, you know that what you are saying is beyond merely making a statement to ask a question. So if you go to the details, be specific. Be specific. Mention that Christian-dominated area that is safer than where the Muslims live. You want to say the southeast is safer than northwest? Is the southeast safer than northwest? Is the southeast safer than northwest? I just wanted to be typical. So for the sake of Allah, these kinds of statements, look for places where you still find opportunity to observe Salat in Jama'ah. You still have Muslims. You still have an opportunity to listen to sermons. You still have opportunity to relate with Muslims in that community. The more the number of Muslims in the community, the better for you. It is not a substitute. There is no substitute to it. Even in the Western world, people who now the Julluham they have is staying in the Western world. We hear reports. In fact, we are tired of reading about shootings in the U.S. We are tired of reading about shootings in the U.S. Yesterday in Mexico, 45 bags were found. 45 bags containing human parts were found somewhere in a small city in Mexico yesterday. So crimes go on all over the world. In those places, you want to claim that they are Christian-dominated and yet safe. I think you should review. The question is the wrong question. Allahu Alam.
Naam, jazakumullah.
Alaykum as-salam, I'm listening.
Now, with the women who are not going for Salatul Jumu'ah, take Ghusl Jumu'ah?
Well, the women, Salatul Jumu'ah is not compulsory for the women. So for those scholars who connect the Ghusl Jumu'ah to Salatul Jumu'ah, they will say it is not compulsory for a woman. But for those who connect the Ghusl Jumu'ah to the day of Jumu'ah itself, they will say that it is compulsory for the woman to observe that Ghusl, even if she's not going for Salatul Jumu'ah. I hope that it is clear. For those amongst the scholars who connect Ghusl Yawmil Jumu'ah to Yawmul Jumu'ah itself, why are we making the Ghusl? Are we making the Ghusl because it is today's Jumu'ah? Or we are making the Ghusl because we are going to observe Salatul Jumu'ah? Do you understand? Because Salatul Jumu'ah is not compulsory for a woman. So if you say the Ghusl is connected to that Salah, it means that Ghusl is not compulsory on her. But if the Ghusl is connected to the day of Jumu'ah, today is Jumu'ah, and then every Muslim has a duty to observe that Ghusl, then it will be compulsory on the woman. I think this second view appears stronger to me at this moment, that the Ghusl is connected to the day of Jumu'ah. So it is compulsory for the woman to observe that Ghusl on the day of Jumu'ah. And Allah knows best, even if she's not going to observe Salatul Jumu'ah outside her home. You can see how important the home of a woman is. Even Salatul Jumu'ah, she's exempted so that she can remain at home, taking care of the home. Even Salatul Jumu'ah, she's allowed. No, don't come. Stay in your house. As for men, when they don't come for Salatul Jumu'ah, the most they can leave is 2. By the third Juma, the Prophet warned them, alayhi salatu wasalam, let them be careful so that Allah does not seal their hearts. Someone doesn't come for Juma first, second, third week. No excuse. The warning is that they should be careful, otherwise their hearts will be sealed. So this is how serious it is not to come for Salatul Juma. Yet the woman is allowed. Don't come for Juma. Stay in your house so that she can care for her home, so that she can run the house, so that she does not have any reason to go out of the house, including Khamsu Salawat, the 5 daily prayers. It is preferred and encouraged for her to stay in her home for those salawat. It says, وَبُيُوتُهُنَّ خَيْرٌ لَهُنَّ, and their homes are better for them for Khamsu Salawat. So that is the home that is being abandoned now by a lot of women. Some of them are inside the home, but they are not caring for the home. So the home for the woman, home. Your home, Allah will ask you about your home. Allah will ask you about your house, your wife, your children. Allah will ask you, the man, about the expenses of the home. But as for how the home is run, who cares for the home, for the children, and the arrangement of the home and the things inside the home, you, the woman, you'll be asked. Home. Islam emphasizes the home for the woman. So when homes become failed now, you see failed human beings in the society. When homes fail, you see failed human beings in the society. So women, go back to the home for the sake of Allah. Care for your home. Suffice with whatever your husband brings to you. So manage whatever your husband brings to you and pray for him to get more. Don't say you want to go out yourself to seek the money or you want to start seeking it inside the home. Don't make your home the safe haven you have. Don't make it become a market. We say don't go out to the market. You now bring the market into the house. This is what the women are doing now. We say don't go out to the market. They now bring the market into the house on their phones. For the sake of Allah, women, be careful about this. May Allah protect us all.
Ameen.
Ameen.
Another one says, my husband insists that I do birth control because I had 5 children in 5 years with CS. I want to do birth control to space child.
That matter should be discussed between yourself, your husband, if you have a learned person of Sunnah, and then a doctor. Yourself, your husband, a doctor, and a learned person. It's not an issue on the WhatsApp or on the social media. Get a learned person, get a doctor that you trust, discuss with him together with your husband.
Someone says, what is the ruling of a woman that bleeds 2 weeks after No,
go on, I'm listening to you.
Now, what is the ruling of a woman who bleeds 2 weeks after a monthly period as a result of a drug she used? Will it be counted as a monthly period too?
No, it's not. It's not. If she is bleeding because of a certain medication, then the bleeding is an illness. That will fall under al-istihaba. The bleeding is an illness, it will fall under al-istihaba. It will not come under haid.
No, please, can one live in a house that has a grave?
Avoid it.
No, is zakat to the fitri compulsory on a daughter if she has weight?
Yes, as long as she's your daughter and she's not married. Every daughter must remain under the care of their father. Their expenses are to be borne by their father, as long as she's not married. When she's married, she becomes under the care and the financial care of the husband. So whether she has money or not, the daughter under her father pay her zakatul fitr.
I have repeatedly said it, and that's what you find the scholars saying. The woman has no financial obligations on her head. Now, if she chances upon wealth, like she inherits some good wealth, or she has a gift of wealth, or during marriage she has a huge gift that has wealth, if those wealth now come on zakawat, then she can remove the zakah. But to go and start looking for it, no. No. She doesn't have that obligation on her head. Allahu Alam.
How do one manage a stray animal like goat or hen in one garden or house? Is it permissible to kill them for eating?
When it strays to you, you can keep it and manage it until you can find the owner. You keep it and manage it till you can find the owner. If there is an agency of government that takes care of such animals, you take it there. In bigger civilized societies, there are agencies like that. They take care of animals that are straying. So you take it to that agency. If there is no such, you leave it until you are able to get the owner. If you can't get the owner, you let it go its way. You leave it, let it go. Because it is not your own. But you must not bring hardship to that animal. Allahu Alam.
No,
I mean one.
How can a woman whose husband for years seek for food?
How are you, sir? I wasn't hearing you. It was breaking.
Assalamu alaikum.
Now, I can hear now.
Okay, now can you hear me now, sir?
No.
How can a woman whose husband has abandoned for years seek for khulu?
How to seek for khulu?
No.
I think this is not also something that is just clear, straightforward. The matter should be investigated properly because it is now a personal matter. But khulu itself means a woman asking to be released. The woman asking the husband to release her. But the question has it that the woman has been abandoned. She can approach the courts. The woman should approach the Sharia courts. The court will investigate the matter. They will invite the husband. They will search for him and all of these. It can come under the issues on khul'u. It can come under mas'ala on az-zawjul mafkud, the husband that becomes missing. So it may be a matter of khul'u. It may be a matter that the court itself will rule about. For some time, the woman will stay about 4 months or so. And if she had stayed for more than that, the court will investigate, look at her circumstance and see whether she may be freed immediately. I hope that is clear. So such a person should approach the Sharia court. She will be appropriately advised about the steps to take. Is this clear, by Yusuf?
No, Shaykh.
I mean.
Now, the other one says, at what age can one start covering for a boy living in the household that is not one's son?
For as long as you see that the boy now understands, has an understanding, he's now beginning to see this is a woman. A woman has this, a woman has that. When that boy, you see the boy is now understanding, has discerning, you cover yourself up away from the boy. Is this clear about Yusuf?
No,
discern. It is not upon a particular age. Some young boys at age 4, they can discern. Age 4, they discern properly. So it means at age 3, that is when you start covering up. So once before you just note that this boy started to discern, please cover up. Don't wait for him to have a full grasp of you before you cover up from him.
No, Shaykh.
I mean, one.
Is it permissible for an imam to give khutbah while another one leads in Salat Jumu'ah?
If there's a reason that's compelling, if there's a compelling reason leading to that, do you understand? Perhaps the imam ends the khutbah, he has a need to maybe go and make qada al-haja, he has a need to have a ghusl. Maybe he was making the khutbah, he didn't remember that he has a duty to make a ghusl. He only made ghusl Jum'ah. He forgot ghusl Janaba. And he has a view that if you make ghusl Janaba, if you make ghusl Jum'ah, you have to also make ghusl Janaba. Then he remembers. So he stops, he goes into his apartment to make ghusl. Two things he can do. He can say, wait for me. He can say, carry on with the salah. So he finished the khutbah, somebody else can lead the salah. If there's a need, it can happen like that. Otherwise, the basic rule is that whoever makes the khutbah should lead the salah. The Prophet ﷺ used to do that. He will lead the khutbah, he will make salah. So if there is no impending need for it, the status quo should not be changed. But if there's a need, then inshallah, even in salah, the imam may be changed if there's a need. So not to say between khutbah and salah. So if there's a need, necessity, it is permissible bi'idhnillah.
No,
I mean, there are a lot of questions here. People saying women, medical profession, how do they stay at home? We are just we are in a rejection of things like this because the society has come to accept that women should be outside everywhere. I'm seeing questions. And I'm a medical doctor. You are a medical doctor is the reason why Allah will not ask you about your home. If a woman is a medical doctor, so Allah will not ask her about her home. Is this what we want to say? Or when he said that al-mar'atu ra'iyatun fi bayti zawjiha wa hiya mas'ulatun ahad, the woman is the caregiver in the home. She'll be asked about it. So if you practice the medicine and we want you to practice the medicine, your home must not fail. Your home is the primary, not the medicine. Please let us get these things right. The medical doctor, a woman being a medical doctor, her home is the primary assignment Allah will ask her about. Then, if she has an ability to help somebody, that is where medicine comes in. They want to provide help. How do you want to provide a helping hand when you have already lost your own soul? You are failing, you lost in your basic responsibilities. You say you want to help somebody. The first basic thing the woman will be asked about her home. That she's a medical doctor does not change this basic rule. Please let us get it right. The medical doctor wants to provide help, whether to fellow women or to any other person who needs her help. So if you want to provide help, is providing help the basic duty? Providing help, that is not the basic duty. The basic duty is what you will be asked about. It's like somebody in an exam hall. They say that somebody near her is fainting. What does she do? You have a duty, you can provide help. But as much as the help you can provide, when it begins to become prolonged, you are losing your exams. So what do? You leave the exam so that you can provide the help. You can see the situation. It could be very, very strong. It could be very demanding. But don't forget, you have a duty on yourself. Women, take care of your homes. Whether you are a doctor, a nurse, or a pharmacy, your home must not lose. And the excuses for failing at home will not be because I'm a medical doctor, oh Allah. No. Your home. Whether you are a doctor, a nurse, or a pharmacy, your home must not fail, oh woman. Your home. Your home is the major thing about you, your home. You can practice that medicine inside your home within the limits that will not make your home to fail. When the home fails, the entire society fails. The home. And the entirety of that home is placed upon the shoulders of a woman. So you can see how important the woman is to the society. Women are very important to the society. The entirety of the basic cell, the basic unit of the society is the woman. Once she's thrown out of the home, you have destroyed the society. You have left crevices at the foundation of the society. Now you want to lay foundation upon crevices, upon loopholes. You want to build a society upon loopholes. Loopholes are homes without women. These are loopholes in the society. And that's why the society is crumbling from within. So the women are important. Once you lose them from the home, you lose the essence of being a woman. And then you lose the society. And that's why those who destroy the society, the first thing they want to do is bring the women away from the home. Get them busy away from the home. Let them not have the time for the children and for the home itself. The home, your home, women. Whether you are a doctor, you are a nurse, Allah will ask you about your home. Don't sacrifice your home because you want to have a helping hand outside. The home. Oh, woman. Because of this home, Allah allows you not to come for Salatul Jummah. Because of the home, He allows you not to come for Salatul Jama'ah. Because of the home, He allows you, don't come and learn in the masjid. Learn in your home. Go to the home of another woman to take knowledge. Home. Allah will ask you about your home, whether you are a doctor, you are a nurse, whether you have PhD or you are professor. The first question you have in your major duty Allah has placed on you is your home. Your home. Don't be deceived. Your home. And you are so important to us in the Ummah. Once the home is gone, the society is gone. Once the home is gone, the society is gone. Women should go back to the home and care for the home. Most husbands today are behaving so wildly because there is even no wife to keep them calm at home. No wife to make the man calm. He comes back to walk to home from the house. He can't find food to eat. The wife is not at home to provide him food. He eats whatever he finds. He is still angry. He has not found time to unbundle from the task that he faced in the office the last day. So the next morning when he wakes up, he is also angrily going out of the home. He has no wife. Litaskunu ilayha. No sukun. He didn't get tranquility from his home. No wife. The wife is also busy in the stores. What are you building? What kind of society would you build without women at home? That's why Allah said to the women, وَقَرْنَ فِي بُيُوتِكُنَّ. Stay in your home. So the woman will be asked about her home, whether she's a doctor or not, whether she's a nurse or not, whether she's a pharmacy or not. Home. Whatever she will do in the circumstances of these jobs, the home must not fail. The home must not be the one taking the blame cane. The home first. Women, home. I think we can stop here by Yusuf.
نعم يا شيخنا بارك الله فيكم.
آمين وفيكم بارك الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.